This video is sponsored by Revolve One. Listen on Apple Podcasts and Google Play Music. Thank you for tuning into EskimoTV, your home for icy and chilly movie reviews. Today's review is special as I'm going to be reviewing probably the most anticipated film of 2017, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It's directed by Rian Johnson and stars a buttload of people. Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Domhnall, Gleeson all reprise their respective roles. This review will be spoiler-free up until I give the grade. I'll be very vague for the first part of this video and just give people who want to know if it was good or not a general sense of what worked, what didn't work, what I liked, what I didn't like, without revealing major plot details. And then after my grade, I'll be talking about the biggest spoilers, and I will give you a second warning at that point if you don't want to have the movie spoiled. If you'd like to get updates on reviews for the latest films out in theaters, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can subscribe to EskimoTV. Alright, time to jump into this review. Star Wars: The Last Jedi was such an exciting adventure, showcasing the most unexpected plot. I don't think anyone would have been able to predict the final outcome. The story picks up right after where The Force Awakens ended. We get to see an interesting interaction between Luke Skywalker and Rey. And then we get to see an interesting interaction between Kylo Ren and Rey. And that's all I get to say about the plot until after my grade, because everything that happens in these interactions with Rey contain giant bombshells that would spoil the plot. The element of surprise and suspense that this film brings is intense. Luke, Rey, and Kylo are some of the most intriguing characters, and this movie will shed new light on who these characters are. The space battles and one particular final lightsaber battle were epically mesmerizing and caused my theater I saw this in to erupt in applause frequently. There's some scenes in this movie that will be a part of the most memorable scenes in the Star Wars franchise. The landscaping and environments look remarkable, and this is a beautiful film. Overall, I would say The Last Jedi is exciting, and I liked most of this movie. I might even say I really like some parts of this movie because of the epic scenes it contains. However, I can't say I loved this movie or that it's a great film. It's good, but it's not great. The Last Jedi is unnecessarily long, the longest Star Wars film in the franchise with a duration of 2 hours and 33 minutes. There's a subplot that involves Finn that I won't spoil, but it's flat out boring. This plot is dispersed throughout the film, probably takes up 20 to 30 minutes, and if they had cut out all the pieces of this plot and just had Finn be with everyone else on the ship, this plot could have been cut down to close to 2 hours. And that is my only real flaw with the film. But it is a major hit where the idea that less is more is so true. A minor flaw that is more forgiving is that this movie incorporates some humor similar to the sarcastic nature of Thor Ragnarok, which I typically love, and I did enjoy some of the jokes that were in some of the scenes. However, there are a few awkwardly placed moments of humor that had me taken aback and had me thinking, isn't this part supposed to be serious? The humor is not as frequent as it is in Ragnarok, so take that with a grain of salt. They do use it more sparingly, and some of it works and some of it doesn't. Now, how does The Last Jedi stack up when compared to the rest of the franchise? It's better than the prequels, not as great as the original trilogy, and when stacked up against The Force Awakens, I would say this film has way more epic moments, but because The Force Awakens had way better pacing and I wasn't bored, I value that more than I did the epic moments in this film. So I would say I personally like The Force Awakens just a tad bit more than I do The Last Jedi. I value my time more than anything else, and so they're gonna fill the movie with parts that bore me and where I feel like I'm wasting my time. That's gonna bring the film down a whole letter grade. I'm gonna give Star Wars The Last Jedi a B. Thank you so much for watching my non-spoiler part of my review. I am about to dive into some major spoilers now, and so if you have not seen The Last Jedi and don't want any major part of the story to be ruined, close this video now. This is your warning. You have no business watching this if you haven't seen the film. I'm starting with the biggest spoiler, so here I go. Luke Skywalker is dead. There were so many grown men in my theater tearing up because this is a hero they grew up watching and now he's no more. I can't say I'm an ultimate Star Wars fan who shared that same pain, but I was a bit sad and somewhat disappointed as well. However, it is fitting and sets up Rey to be the last Jedi, which is what the film was ultimately all about. Also, Kylo and Rey's interaction was very interesting and suspenseful. I was pulsating in my seat thinking, is Rey gonna turn to the dark side? Now, I really love Adam Driver's performance as Kylo Ren, and he kind of reminds me of Severus Snape from the Harry Potter franchise, which is my favorite franchise of all time. I don't know if anyone else gets that vibe, but they both wear black, they both have similar hairstyles, and because Harry Potter spoiler alert, we think that Snape is a bad guy at first and then he ends up being good. I think my mind subconsciously persuaded me to believe that Kylo is going to give up his dark ways and join our main heroes. Well, that doesn't happen, and despite the conversation between Rey and Kylo, nothing really changes. They're still on the same sides, which leads me to one little negative that I couldn't talk about in my spoiler-free portion of the video. In hindsight, Rey and Kylo's discussion was kind of pointless. We learn more about their characters, but nothing in the film, nothing in them drastically changes as a result. She's still good, he's still bad. While fascinating through its delivery, I wish there was a better end product to that intriguing plot. I also really wish we got to explore Rey's parents more in depth. Kylo tells her that they were nobody's scavengers, and it's a little disappointing. I think lots of fans were anticipating her being related to either Luke or Kylo, which would have been interesting. However, I can see the creators wanting to do something that wasn't so obvious, and with everyone anticipating her relationship being tied to one of our main cast members, it would have been too obvious had they done that. It'd be interesting if we do get to learn who her parents were in the future, and perhaps Kylo lied about who they were, as it was a very anticlimactic build-up. I was waiting for a stunning reveal, and it was a bit of a letdown. Carrie Fisher did a terrific job in her role, but with the way everything ended, I have no idea what they're gonna do in the next film. She is on the Millennium Falcon with the main character of this movie. There's no way they can pick up exactly where this left off. Either the title crawl is gonna have to literally say Princess Leia is dead, or time is gonna have to have passed, the two will maybe be separated, and perhaps her absence will be explained simply through her taking care of some sort of side mission. J.J. Abrams, good luck to you and the entire story development team. That is one task I cannot wait to see what the final outcome is. The original plans intended for Carrie to be in the next installment and not too long after her death. The previous director for that film stepped down. That's why J.J. Abrams is in. They're definitely going to have to rethink whatever plans they possibly had for the next movie. That's what I thought about Star Wars The Last Jedi. Let me know what you thought about this movie. Which Star Wars movies are your favorite from best to worst? Let me know in the comments below. And this video, this review, was in partnership with Revolve One, which siblings Rudy and Crystal Garcia discuss everything from pop culture, politics, and much more. This is a new project, and I know Revolve One would value your listening and feedback. Subscribe, rate, and share Revolve 1 on Apple Podcasts and Google Play Music. And as always, if you enjoyed this review, like this video and subscribe to Eskimo TV for more icy and chilly Eskimo TV reviews.